Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Dick. We are the Annuity guys.
So Dick, should you buy an annuity in a bull market?
Well, Eric, I think it's up to that individual need and concern. And when we go back and think about what we did just recently, having our President Trump electoral video, is it going to be a Trump bump or is it going to be a Trump slump?
So literally almost a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah, we all thought the markets were going, Trump gets elected, markets are going in the toilet.
Right. And it's been just the opposite. Yep. I mean, we really have had this Trump bump. Business really seems like they are liking, what he's doing. And so even after such a long, strong bull market, it's continued to go up and be one of the strongest bull markets we've seen.
Right. So why should we be buying an annuity now? So it's all-time highs. Does it make sense to really take money out of the market and put it in an annuity?
Well, Eric, I mean, it's one of the hardest decisions for anybody to make. But I think that we all know, the prevailing wisdom that what goes up
must come down.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that's part of the challenge.
Yes.
In fact, we were having this conversation in our office, and I've had it with clients even a year ago. We were still then all-time market highs.
Right.
Now, the funny thing is, and this is just my personal experience, people that have purchased annuities over the last year, guess what? They rode this market up. They still got to participate.
Yes.
In fact, some lucky people have seen double-digit gains in annuities.
Right.
Which is not that common. I mean,
yeah, right.
So here's people still participating, not riding it up maybe as much as they wanted in the market.
Right.
But they took what they thought was a safety approach and decided to purchase an annuity last night.
Right.
Taking some of their winnings off the table maybe, and it was time to basically put some safeguards in place.
Right. Well, and Eric, I would say that is the question, is when do you make these decisions? And, the prevailing wisdom, again, is always buy low, sell high.
Right.
And boy, I wish that was easy to do.
Yeah.
But
if you get your crystal ball out and say,
exactly. Even the professional money managers, let alone the individual investors, have a very difficult time with this. So when we start talking about annuities, we start thinking in terms of, first of all, just meeting retirement objectives.
Yeah. And that's, right now we're in the euphoria stage of the market.
Right.
So it's tough, and as people are getting closer and closer to retirement, individually you have to start to say, all right, is this the right time? And if you want to harken back a little bit to 2007, people were probably having that same type of discussion.
Right.
Things are going well. I can probably keep a significant portion in the market and retire fine. It's the what if. And it's taking the practical approach from a planning perspective to say, what if something happens? What if there's a correction? Do you safeguard your income? And that's what I think really, when we start to think about annuities and allocations, is there a portion you need to safeguard? And we talk about the multiple options for safeguarding it. Is it in a bull market? Do you want to just use annuities?
Yes.
Stocks and bonds. There's
stocks and annuities. And then we go back to the Wade-Fowl study, which, we've had other videos that we've kind of touched on that. But he does Monte Carlo scenarios and looks at, annuities versus, stocks and bonds and, stocks and annuities. So, and one thing that we know is that with annuities and stocks, you're really looking at a 99% probability of success. And then there's other varying probabilities with a stock-bond mix.
Right.
So, so folks have to think in terms of, do I really want to sleep very well at night? Do I want to know that my retirement is secure? And that's where we get into talking about, our trademarked outcome-based planning. Which really just is a common sense approach to looking at multiple probabilities for success, which one of those would be stocks and bonds. One would be stocks and annuities. One would be annuities only. One would be stocks only, bonds only. But all of these have some probability of success, and each person in their unique situation has to be comfortable with choosing one of these.
Right. So in our philosophy is pretty simple. It's usually trying to solve for the least amount of dollars you need to satisfy the problem. And that includes with annuities. Annuity is not going to be the perfect answer for everything. In what better way to let your portfolio really take advantage of the annuity is you allocate the portion that you need for income, And then once you have that income basically taken care of, well, then you can feel more comfortable with the dollars that you've left in the market to ride out the ups and the downs, with knowing that your foundational income is still going to be preserved.
Well, absolutely. And this is what we call really establishing a baseline, putting the least amount, or at least deciding and calculating the least amount you need in annuities, so that you can then make better decisions. So if you want to put more money in annuities to protect some assets for growth, to increase your income for other needs, you can do it, but you don't have to.
Right.
You've got a baseline.
And that's the key. And I think ultimately comes back to planning. Who do you want to work with when you're doing proper planning?
Right.
And we talk a lot about working with a fiduciary versus just a salesman.
Yes.
Now, obviously the fiduciary standard, the F word, basically is reliant upon somebody that has your best interest in mind.
Yes.
They're going to take your considerations, what's in your best, not just trying to sell you a product, but make sure that they're doing what makes sense for you.
Well, I think this is a concern that most folks have, Eric. Am I working with somebody who is really very persuasive as a salesperson, or am I working with a true financial planner? And I think one of the ways that folks can have an advantage in planning their retirement is to work with a fiduciary planner. But even in that sense that you're working with a fiduciary planner, you still have to make some hard decisions yourself. You have to really be somewhat contrarian. You can't have that herd mentality.
Well, like I said, it's tough right now because everybody's euphoric. The market's going, oh, I want in, I want to get in now,
Right.
Unfortunately, we know that historically, it's not always the best time when everybody's at a euphoric stage.
Right.
But how long is euphoria going to last for? Is it going to be for another week, another month, another year, another 10 years?
Well,
we don't know.
And this is why we say a bull market can be one of your best opportunities for annuities. Some portion of your portfolio.
Yeah, it really does. It's a time to instill the confidence in preserving your portfolio.